Alright guys, the new year is upon us. Happy New Year.
Get over it.
I figured what better way to start the year than to talk about some of the best things, in my opinion, that happened in 2024.
Yeah, damn right!
Now, I'm not going to be able to get everything, so if I missed something, or if you have something that you liked, definitely leave it in a comment down below.
And here we go.
First off, we've got Ancora and Narcissus. Alright, Ancora, a fusion for free. Everybody was able to get her. She is a fantastic champion that competes even at the tippity top end of Arena. Very, very good fusion in my opinion. Not a broken fusion like Armand's, but actually just a really good fusion that makes it in the top end of Arena, as well as Narcissus. Not everybody could get Narcissus, but he was 110 Void Shards from a guaranteed, which meant a lot of the players, at least at the top end, were able to get him. And the two combined were a great counter to Mariska and Taurus, as well as they do counter themselves. So they weren't able to go rampant in the arena because they countered themselves, as well as they countered the top meta at the time, which was really good. In my opinion, Plarium handing us the meta-breaking combo like this was huge. And it changed a lot of people's accounts, allowing them to compete with people that are closer to the top end who had the Taurus and the Mariska. As well as it did kind of stop the bolster set. We don't see bolster as much nowadays. These guys kind of are a little bit responsible for maybe killing bolster. Maybe not killing it, but definitely weakening bolster. You don't see it on as many teams nowadays because it's almost a death sentence if you run into a Narcissus. If you're a new player or you want to start a second account, there's a fantastic link down below that is going to give you Karato Fox Hunter, a fantastic damage dealer and crowd controlling champion. Really good CC on his A3, whole team block active skills, and a single target 2-turn stun on the A2. Really good at just stopping the enemies from doing bad things to you. You get a fantastic Skinwalker in Fayne. Really, really good in Clan Boss. You get the Scarab King solo god in Vergis. That's a boss in the Doom Tower. If you're new to the game, Scarab King, one of the most annoying bosses. Vergis is like, build me right, I got you, bro. I'll solo it, which is crazy. And then Sacred Order, you get Romero, a solid support champion, probably the weakest of the bunch, but still, tons of healing on his kit, tons and tons of healing, and tons of defensive buffs to keep you alive. So you love to see it, as well as a really cool 3-turn hitter if Juliana's on the team. I do want to test that out myself. Attacking all enemies 3 times. You could do some funky stuff with that. So really, really cool champions. The second thing I want to talk about is gear presets. Personally, this has helped me so much because I'm able to kind of test out builds, right? I've got Narcissus' old gear, and then I made his new gear. I made it into a preset before I equipped it on him, so I was able to swap between these and kind of test them out, see which one was better. And I do that on all kinds of champions. I think my Taurus, actually I think his presets got deleted, but let's see, preset manager, my Siegfried, he's got 3 different presets. This was his first set of gear, then I improved him with this, and then I improved him with this, and each time I was able to kind of swap between them and see, okay, what's hitting harder, what do I like more, am I faster in this, am I winning more fights with this? So the preset manager has just allowed me to just test builds. It just allows me to test builds so much easier without having to take all kinds of screenshots on my phone. That's what I was doing before. I'd take screenshots, and then you got to go back and find the piece, and it's like, oh man, it was such a hassle. But the preset manager, or gear presets in general, so nice, guys. So unbelievably nice. So the next one is Ninja returning. Ninja returned about 5 months ago, and he is still so good to this day. The fact that new players get him, or they did get him, is fantastic. It probably helped so many people with their clan boss. He's really good in Hydra. I think he's really good in Chimera. Amius, really good in Amius. This champion is just a game changer for so many accounts. So the fact that they brought him back is really awesome, because I know a lot of people on YouTube would not make videos on him because people would get really mad in the comments. Not anymore. He came back. People had a second chance to get him, so most accounts out there nowadays have this guy, and that's really awesome. Armand's, I don't want to mention Armand's as like a 100% positive, but I do think that him being introduced into the game, at least for PvE content, was a positive. He destroys Doom Tower waves, Spider, because of all the Spiderlings taking their turn meter. Anywhere that you can take turn meter, he is fantastic in that content. For PvP, he kind of caused a mess in PvP, but I do think his overall impact for a lot of players in PvE content was huge, and I do think it was a positive thing on the PvE side of the game. Next thing I want to talk about is the Chimera. I think Chimera, at least as far as like difficulties and stuff goes, launched really, really well. You've got Ultra Nightmare for the top end of players, and you've got Easy that a lot of players can hit, you know, only 900k damage. A lot of players can hit that within their first couple weeks to month of the game. So that's really nice that we had new content come out that everybody could start playing in. I think that's a positive thing. Not too much to say there, but I think this boss is cool. I know it had some bugs and stuff, but I really like how they handled the difficulties compared to Hydra, whereas Hydra started on normal. Hydra's launch, even when Hydra came out, I could not do the first chest on normal when it came out. So the fact that Chimera launched much more new player friendly is awesome. The next thing we've got is the Asgard Divide event. I think this was a really cool event. First of all, getting the 4 barbarians, Thor, Freya, Loki, and Odin. You got Thor as a fusion, Loki was free, Freya through an event, so I'm sure there's a lot of people like me that picked up at least 3 of the 4 champions. Maybe some of you got 4 or 4. That's awesome. Thor being a fusion, huge, like damage dealer, really good in Hydra. Definitely changed a lot of accounts. Freya, she's solid. I do fight her in live arena quite often. And then Loki. I think Loki's the weakest of the bunch, but there's some people that like him. I haven't messed with him too much. But definitely good introductions, as well as the biggest thing really is Pinpoint and this event dungeon. The event dungeon was tons of fun, well received by the community as far as like how fun it was. I know a lot of people didn't really like the fact that you could get other gear outside of Pinpoint, but I thought it was pretty fair with the Pinpoint in my opinion. And Pinpoint also allowed bombers to kind of come in and shake up the meta, which is also really cool. So overall, the event dungeon gets an A+ from me. I think it was a really good thing this year. Really, really enjoyed it. I had tons of fun farming it, and I farmed it like stage 28, and I think there were like 30 stages, so I was able to get myself a couple decent drops. The other collab that was really good this year was the Monster Hunter collab. A lot of people started the year with the Hell Hades free-to-play challenge, and they got Rathalos. Rathalos was game-changing. Let's go take a look at him. Rathalos was game-changing for a lot of accounts. A very, very good damage dealer, kind of similar to Ninja. To me, it felt like that's what they were going for. I know he's kind of better in PvP because he does a better job nuking like a wave, but he's a good boss damage dealer, kind of like Ninja is. So that's the whole vibe I got from it, but making him the login champion was really good. Definitely helped out a lot of people. None of the other champions in that event were super duper noteworthy. I know Alatreon was pretty solid, or he still is pretty solid. Alatreon's pretty solid. You were able to get him from champion training, a lot of it, but at least it was fairly accessible, which is nice. There was a fusion with Zenogre. She is really not too good. And then who was our last one? Fatalis. Fatalis in the Dark Elves, I believe. Yeah, Fatalis. Oh, and Nergigante Archer. Nergigante Archer was the best of the bunch. Let's go look at her. I think she's in the Barbarians. She was kind of the least accessible one, in my opinion, because you could get Fatalis from just opening shards. I think it was like 25 shards for his guaranteed deck of fate. The Archer, really, really good. I didn't end up picking her up, sadly. But still, I thought it was a fun collab. Nonetheless, I didn't get all the champions, but I thought it was really cool. I like limited edition champions. I thought it was fun to get Zenogre, even though she wasn't a very good fusion, because she's not really ever going to come back. So I enjoyed the Monster Hunter collab. I thought Rathalos as a login was also really good for the community in general. Another thing they did that we wanted for so long was allowing us to exchange unused fragments for these chests that can give us High Mother mod and just other rewards in general. Here's all the stuff you can get. Here's the exchange rates. But so many people had just fragments sitting on their account that they could do nothing with. You can see I've got 10 for stock right here. They'll probably allow us to exchange these pretty soon. But just allowing us to exchange unused fragments for mod was so nice. We've been wanting a system like that for so long. So the fact that they added it in 2024 was very, very greatly appreciated. It takes quite a while to get her, but hey, it's better than what we had before, so I'll take it. Next one I want to talk about is Marius. Marius is probably one of the top 5 champions in the game right now. Some would even say number 1. The fact that we could all get him for free is so awesome. And in my opinion, they didn't make the quests too difficult. Like, I know a lot of us were skeptical, but then when the quests came out and we've seen that you didn't have to make it to like Gold Live Arena at all, that was really, really nice to see. Yeah, you have to conquer a lot of PvE content to get to him, but overall the quests, I mean, I have him before I had Ramontu. Like, I still don't have Ramontu and I have Marius, so he's way more accessible than Ramontu is, way easier to get, and he's one of the best champions in the game. Definitely appreciated that they give us such a meta-defining champion for free. Wixwell, they gave us Wixwell. That was a fantastic fusion. Definitely helped so many people unlock that Ultra Nightmare clan boss. As well as we all got to kind of vote for his skills, so that was really cool too. Kind of checking in every day and seeing what skill got picked. Oh, this is what the community decided his A1 was. This is what the community decided his passive was. Like, all that stuff was so cool. It just felt like so interactive. It was tons of fun voting on Wixwell, and his fusion changed so many people's accounts. And with Wixwell came the community awards. Can't really show anything visually about that, but the community awards were really cool. They recognized some members of the community as far as like YouTubers go and artists and just all kinds of stuff. It was just fun to watch it on YouTube. I enjoyed it. Nubs and Cirilla, I think, hosted it. Really, really cool to watch. It was cool to see them kind of take over their community awards. I know there had been another YouTuber that hosted in previous years, but to see them, Plarium themselves, actually host one was really cool in my opinion. Boss nerfs. So boss nerfs were a really good thing that they did this year as well. They nerfed Iron Twins, made it more accessible. They nerfed Sand Devil and Phantom Shogun to make them more accessible, so now you don't have to just Godseeker and Neri cheese Sand Devil. There's actually like legitimate teams that can do it, which is pretty cool. Before it was mostly just cheesing with Godseeker, and then Phantom was just way overtuned. I'm glad that they nerfed that. Iron Twins, I didn't think needed the nerf, but I'm glad they did it because it helps a lot of newer players kind of get to stage 15 and start getting those soul stones quicker. So that's really good, in my opinion, that they nerfed some of these more difficult bosses. The next one I want to talk about is Siege. I think Siege, it did launch pretty rough, but I love the fact that we actually have like a clan warring, clan versus clan kind of game mode in the game. There also is really good rewards tied to it, like the Primal Shards, the Feral Set, and the Champion Lamasu, as well as the avatar frames are pretty cool, so that's nice. There are really good rewards tied to Siege as well, which is nice. It actually makes it like worth doing. And it's not a huge time sink for most players like we thought it might be when it first came out. For a lot of clans, you can just log on, do your 2, 3, 4 attacks, and then hop off. So you can actually do Siege in less than like 5-10 minutes, which is kind of nice. And then for those of you that actually want to get really deep into it and have something to do for a couple hours, you can actually get in here and strategize with your clan and do all your Mana Shrine battles. So I love that you can get in there and there's a small investment of time for people who want it, but then there's also a big investment of time for people who want that. Like me, when Siege is around, I'm constantly talking to my clan all day, giving them tips. Hey, this is how you beat this pose, this is how you beat this pose. If you have Narcissus, you can beat this pose with Neck Grit. But you don't have to do that. It's such a little time investment if you want it to be. So that's really, really nice. Relics. I think relics are a positive thing. So far, it's still relatively new, but we could take a look at the relics right here. They're cool. They add more diversity and more customizability to your champions, which is always a good thing. And they haven't like monetized them yet. Yes, Chimera itself can be considered monetized if you consider the fact that they ran like a 15x, I think, for Senna. Of course, stuff like that's always going to happen. They're always going to sell the most popular champions through shards, but they haven't actually sold you the crafting materials or sold you relics in the shop yet at the making of this video. So far, I think relics are a positive thing. I know there's been some bugs with them, and I know one of these relics, I think it's this one actually, is completely busted and broken on Rotos. But once this gets kind of fixed, I think overall the system is a positive thing for 2024. Another positive thing that they did was the Hydra turn limit. They took Hydra from 1,500 turns, which on auto could take anywhere from like 35 minutes to like 50 minutes, which was crazy. At least for the teams that I had pushing the turn limit. They took it from 1,500 to 1,000 turn limits, so they cut the time you spend in battle by a third. Well, if you consider 3 keys, now you can do all 3 of your keys in the time it took you to do 2 keys back in the day, if all your teams were going to turn limit. So that's nice. Overall, every week, instead of having to do 4,500 turns of Hydra, now you only have to do 3,000 turns of Hydra. So a big time reduction. I know there's still drama surrounding Hydra, but the turn limit, I think for 99% of the community, is viewed as like a positive change. I also see the turn limit change as a positive. As well as personal rewards. Giving us personal rewards, allowing us to still get these accessories if our clan loses, is really nice. The 1.2 billion you can get every week if you have teams that can get up to that. I'm only able to get it every 2 weeks, but really nice to get these accessories all the time. It's allowed me to build my Ancora differently. It's allowed me to build my Taras differently, just because I'm getting so many more of these stone skin and protection accessories. Another thing that they did is they balanced more champions in 2024 than they did in 2023. I know that there's still a lot more room for growth as far as balancing goes. They could definitely pump out more champions than they've been doing, but we did get more balance in 2024 than we did in 2023. So I think that's a really good thing. Champions like Great Hoof Loriaka, where is she? I think Hakorn also got buffed, but you've also got Great Hoof Loriaka. She got a pretty solid buff. Who else got buffed? Oh, War Chief got buffed. So that's already 3 in the Skinwalkers. Might be another one here that I'm not noticing. King Garag got buffed in the Orcs. Yeah, that was a good one. Angar got buffed. That was a big deal. So yeah, just all kinds of buffs this year. I think they were doing 2 to 4 a month, so like minimum like 20, 24 champions this year. So that's more than 2023, so we'll take it. I hope they can do more in 2025, but you know what? We're moving in the right direction, so I'm not going to complain about it. And then probably the biggest one, the one that nobody hates, everybody loves, Instant Clan Boss. I believe this got added a little bit after Wixwell, so, or maybe about the same time as Wixwell. But Instant Clan Boss 2024, a complete game changer. Runs that took me 30 minutes or 20 minutes, something like that. I don't even remember. It's been so long. I think my Clan Boss runs were about 20 minutes, though. Now they are so much faster. Look at this. Oh, I got to battle Clan Boss. Uh-oh. Oh, no. Do I have time to do Clan Boss? Dude, I could do Clan Boss while I'm taking a leak. It's so easy. Quick battling is so nice. So nice. Look at that. I'm done. Clan Boss done. I got to do that. Basically, I do that 4 times a day. So I went from spending over an hour in Clan Boss to now I spend maybe 2 minutes. And I collect my rewards. So, Instant Clan Boss, the biggest chef's kiss W of the century. W of this game's entire lifespan, but especially 2024. So that's all the positives I got for 2024. Hopefully 2025 can be a fantastic year for Raid. I hope you guys enjoyed. Definitely let me know what your favorite thing they did this year was down below. But I've been GreensKD. I hope you guys enjoyed the video. I'll see you in the next one. Peace out.